children of Warrington Science Centre will perform an Indian classical dance to welcome you all and of course our beloved Swami to today's auspicious event. This will be followed by the children of Region 5 performing our opening prayers. Jai Saram.
in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunatu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
They share their experiences and they are praying to Swami as a single united family. So that is the interest of Swami in celebrating the various events. When Swami left his physical form last year, after that we had a series of events and we had such a busy year. Never did we actually miss him. So that is the love of all of our devotees, and that is the omnipresence of Swami. He never left us and he is always there with us, whether physically or not. Finish? Swami says every human being has 4 birthdays. First is the physical one when we are actually born. Second is when they actually begin their spiritual journey. Third is when they achieve some wisdom after a long journey. And fourth is when they actually merge with the God. And I'm sure I'm still celebrating my first birthday. So let us at least resolve on this today, that we start our spiritual journey. And he doesn't actually ask any precious gifts. The ideal gifts he wants are Patram, Pushpam, Phalam and Toyam, which, as I've written there, Patram is leaf, that is the leaf of our body. Pushpam is our heart, the flower of the heart. Phalam is the fruit, the thoughts of our mind, the fruit of our mind. And Toyam is the tears of joy, which is the water. Next slide. And Swami always says that he has come to actually light the lamp of love in our hearts. We have named the event as Divine Light, keeping in, with the year of, for this year it has been named as the light towards the journey towards the Divine Light. So keeping in line with our national motto, we have named today as Divine Light. So Swami has come to light the lamp of our love in our hearts, so that it shines every day with added luster. God is the most assured insurance, and He is the most powerful source of protection for us. There is no limit to the extent God is prepared to go to help His devotees. I just want to share a quick example Swami has given. During the Kurukshetra war, one night Draupadi was so scared that all her husbands will be killed by Bhishma. And she thought she should run to Bhishma in the middle of the night and seek his blessings so that all her husbands will be saved. So while all this was happening, Krishna was actually watching her. And when she was running towards Bhishma, she was actually wearing slippers which were making quite a bit of noise. So Krishna went to her and said, "Draupadi, please give me those slippers." And he took them and put it in his upper cloth and followed Draupadi. When she actually went into Bhishma's camp, he was sleeping. It was in the middle of the night, and she fell at his feet. And Bhishma, with the noise of the bangles, he thought that there is a lady who approached her, and he straight away said, "May you have a long married life." And then suddenly he realized that it is Draupadi, and then he was thinking, "Oh, then I'll have to protect her husbands." So in all this dilemma, the whole discussion happened, and Draupadi went away. And Krishna was still there, and then Bhishma asked him, "I know this is all your trick, and could you please give me some food? I am dying of hunger. You have got a big bag in your hand. Can you please give me some food from your bag?" Then Krishna was saying, "I don't have any food." But Bhishma said, "Please, there is something." And then he pulled his upper cloth. So then the slippers fell down. Then Bhishma really cried, saying that, like you go to any extent. Krishna actually took these slippers from Draupadi so that she wouldn't make any noise. So that is our Lord. He goes to any extent to help his devotees. So let us all make a resolve so that we'll reach on our journey to the divine light. So I would like to actually, please say with me, all of you, whoever is here. Shall we all repeat this together? Bow to the light within.
Bow to the light within.
To the omnipresent light of God.
To the omnipresent light of God.
Bow to the endless light.
Bow to the endless light.
The light that is my very life.
The light that is my very life.
Bow to the indwelling Lord.
Bow to the indwelling Lord.
Our true Guru Sri Satya Sai.
Our true Guru Sri Satya Sai.
Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram.
And I welcome you all once again.
You might have to bear with me a little bit today because, as you can all tell, I'm losing my voice. So I think I also have to agree. I think it's still my first birthday as well here. So we've got a brilliant program planned for you all today. I do hope you will enjoy it. I'd like to start off the program by introducing Mr. Deepak Kumar from the Good Values Club. Now I say Mr. Deepak Kumar, but he's better known to me as Pops, because he's my dad. Okay? So my father created the Good Values Club in Abbey Primary School in Leicester many years ago. What started off as a lunchtime club has progressed leaps and bounds, and my father's worked tirelessly to create what it is today, a well-established Saturday club. I'm not going to talk about it too much. I'm going to leave it to the expert. So if I can all ask you to formally welcome Mr. Deepak Kumar.
Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram.
Koti pranam at the lotus feet of our Bhagavan, Shri Satya Sai Baba. What a day, what a day. Oh my God. I'm going in circles. Circles, which circles? Circles. I saw my daughters, that little, Anuja and Aditi, performing on the stage. And today, their daughters are performing on the stage. Amazing. It took me years back. And guess what? I don't have only 2 children. When somebody asks me, how many children have you got? I just can't say. I say 150, 200, 300. All these lovely girls today perform, all these children, lovely children. Beautiful, isn't it? That's what Swami wants. And that's what we want. Today is also very special for me. Before I tell you about the Good Values Club, I'll say it in just a few words. Good Values Club is Satya Sai Education in Human Values program. And we have it on every Saturday with 150 children coming from different schools. But now we have already introduced this school in this curriculum, Satya Sai EHV curriculum in Abbey Primary School. And it is one of the topmost schools in Leicester, and is also known as Partnership Satya Sai School. And also, you'll be glad to know that we have now introduced this program in 4 or 5 other schools. And the latest school that is going to start a Good Values Club, I'm not going to tell you, because I've got somebody here who's going to tell you later on. But today is our first day when the minibus, which has been donated by somebody, has at its first official trip outside Leicester. What better day can be than Swami's birthday? And here in Warrington. So I'm glad and I'm very grateful to Mr. Shukla, Vijay Shukla, who has driven us all the way here. Because without him, we wouldn't have been able to reach here. And 2 boys are hiding behind there. And that is Hemant and Ashish. Where are you? Wave your hands. My Good Values children, they are running away from me because they said they don't want to be in the limelight. But they are my stars of Abbey Primary School because they helped me so much. Once I told them, would you like to come? And here they were. I don't want to make a big speech because Swami's birthday and we want to celebrate it. So we'll start with the first item which is, I always get confused with Kathak and Bharatnatyam. But this one is Bharatnatyam by Karavi Pandit. Thank you.
गजानन भूतगणाधिसेवितम् कपित्थ जम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम्
She was telling me, Mr. Kumar, I wish I can show my end bit because that's the way. I love that. I said, I'm sorry, darling, we got so many, we got limited time, but maybe another day we'll show you. Next, I've got somebody called Muskan Khurana who's going to just share her experiences of the Good Values Club.
Yes, Sarah. Like Mr. Kumar said, yeah, I'm Muskan and I'm here to tell you all about my experience of Good Values Club. I'm not a UK born, and I was born in India, and I came here when I was only 11 years old. So I didn't know anything about Bapa at that time. It was Good Values that led me to Bapa and what I am today. I started at Good Values and I started volunteering there every Saturday. And what I thought was, Good Values wasn't just a club. It was more like a family. There was there wasn't one thing going on, there was loads of things going on. Even though it was organized, there was loads of things like dancing, singing, meditation, games, so many things, and it was so much entertaining and there was lots to learn from. The 5 main values that Good Values focuses on were something that taught me to be who I am today. Non-violence, truth, peace. I always use them every single day of my life. I know that I have to focus on these values and just to be the good person, just to achieve the goals in life, I have to follow these values, and Good Values taught me how to do that. Good Values was an amazing journey. Right now, I can't go there much because of my education and because of my exams, but I'd still like to contribute as much as possible, because staying with Good Values is something, if you're connected to it, you can't get out of it. I remember 3 years ago, it was Mr. Kumar that took me to Bapa's 84th birthday, and it was absolutely amazing. There were so many people, it was so lively, and then we went to produce the CD, and there were so many other things that we did with Good Values that it's just been an amazing journey so far, and I hope it stays like this for the rest of the time.
Just before we started, she asked me, what should I speak on? I said, I'm not going to tell you anything. Speak from your heart. Only then it will touch other people. And that's what she has done. Thank you, Muskan. And now we have a Kathak dance by Darika Suresh. It's amazing how these children perform. You know, they give so much joy in the club when they perform in front of other children. Some of the children create their own Bollywood dances, and it's amazing to see how they grow up. And now I've got somebody special, and this is Punya Khurana, who's going to tell you something about path of life. Punya.
Good morning, everyone. Today I consider myself really lucky to perform for Baba's birthday, and this poem is dedicated to him, and it's called On the Path of Life. On the path of life, prayer, determination, honesty, satisfaction and hope are like vibrant pearls which empower us to sustain. But greatest of them is faith, which runs through those pearls and binds them together to produce a marvelous necklace called life. Set a goal for yourself and hold the flag of determination. Choose the path of honesty and truth if you want to gain satisfaction. Light the candle of hope at night, and let patience be your guide. Shade of faith will give you comfort if the sun of failure begins to rise. You may feel tired as the journey is very long, but success demands efforts, so try to be strong. Because of thorns underneath your feet may begin to bleed. The healing power of prayer now you will need. One day certainly you will reach your destination, and many will follow your footsteps. For them you'll become inspiration. Thank you.
Many will follow your footsteps. Swami, many are following your footsteps. And that's what we are doing, trying to achieve what guidelines you have given us. And we will try till the end. And now I've got somebody else. Her name is Kamini Lakshman, my old student, somebody who studied from when she was in year 3, 4, 5, 6, then she left school. She is going to share an experience. For me, this experience is electric. Kamini.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar. Well, hello everybody. My name is Kamini, and like Mr. Kumar said, I'm his ex-student, and I used to go to Good Values Club when I was younger. At the moment, I'm currently volunteering at his club, but it was really weird how we met, actually. My brother goes to Abbey Primary School, and I had just gone to pick him up, and Mr. Kumar was leaving the door, and I was just waiting to pick him up, and we kind of just met after. We hadn't met each other for like 2-3 years, I think it was, and suddenly, on that day, we met, and we just started talking. Oh, I remember you. And he said, oh, what are you doing? And blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'm studying to be a teacher. So he said that, oh, why don't you come and volunteer at Good Values Club? It'll be a great opportunity, to experience. So I started doing that, and then in December, I think it was last year in December, I started. And then in I think it was in June, was it?
Yeah.
When he invited me to do the SSCHB course that we took part in. It was in Leicester. So we did that 9-day course, which was a really, really good opportunity, because you know what? I had no idea about any of the work that Sati Sai Baba was doing, or I didn't know. I was volunteering at his club and just helping out, but I didn't know the whole background and all of that. So it was really good to be able to do that. And now to bring that into the club, I think it's great. And yeah, it's great to be a part of this today as well. Thank you for organising it, and thank you for me. Thank you.
I think the bit I wanted to tell you was, 3 days ago she rang me. Mr. Kumar, I've got a good news for you. I said, what's the good news? He said, I have been posted to a school. And guess what? The person who is my in charge is a Sai devotee. What chances are there out of thousands of teachers? She said, I have talked to her and she's interested in me starting a club. And yesterday morning she said to me, Mr. Kumar, the head has given a go-ahead, and we are starting a Good Values Club in a predominantly Muslim school. And now we have finally the Garba by the girls from the Abbey Primary School. And here I would like to finally say a big thank you to the parents of the children who have sent them, and to the girls themselves who are taking part.
I'm sure you'll all agree that was great. I can actually remember my dad saying, you know, yes, I have hundreds of children, and me and my sister were always thinking that he loves them more than he loves us. But of course we know it's not true. He loves us all the same. Okay, so moving forward, we now have the good fortune of having a speaker who is an alumnus of the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. Bharati Singhani studied at the Institute for 5 years and graduated in biosciences. She is currently the group chair of Sathya Sai Group in Derby, which started 4 years ago. I'll waste no more time and request Bharati to come to the stage. Please everyone give her a warm welcome.
My loving pranams at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Respected elders, brothers and sisters, and my lovely children, Sairam. You know, we always look forward to this time of the year, and we really like to make a weekend of Swami's birthday. And we've had this perfect opportunity this year because we started on Friday in Derby. Went to Leicester yesterday, and thank you all very much for calling us to Warrington. It's completed our birthday weekend. Thank you very much. We haven't had a lot of time to prepare, so I was sitting down last night trying to think what should we say today, what to share today, and for me, as I sat down in front of my PC, it was a trip down memory lane myself, and it brought back all those memories, all those precious moments with Swami, the different sides of his multifaceted personality that we all know. And I'd like to share some of those lessons he taught us. Not just the lessons he taught us, what those lessons were, but also how he taught them. And that's the journey we had with Swami. And one of the experiences that's closest to my heart was back in 1990. We were approaching Shivratri. When I had first joined Anandpur, Swami used to come to Anandpur quite often. And then after 2 years, he stopped coming. So that particular year, we were very, in a way, adamant that Swami should come to Anandpur. And we tried various ways, but, tried to talk to Swami, tried to say to him he should come. But there was really not much response. And it was coming to Shivratri, and as a group, my class, I do not know why now, but at that point we decided that when we go to Shivratri this time, we're just going to sit down there and absolutely refuse to move till Swami says, yes, I'm coming to Anandpur. We probably should never have done that, but that is how it happened. We were very young, and it was quite some kind of a secret plot, so nobody else knew, none of the other classes knew we had decided to do something like this. So we landed in Prashantinilayam, and that's exactly what we did. Swami came out, and we sort of, shouted out, and very, very vocal, very loudly. We kept asking him to come to Anandpur, Swami. And actually, Swami did not like our behavior. And darshan finished, and we refused to get up and leave the mandir. Sister Gayatri was there at that time. And Swami sent repeated messages for us to leave, and we were still disobeying and insisting that we must stay there till Swami comes out. And anyways, eventually we left. we came back for evening darshan, and at that point Swami came out and made it very clear to our warden that he was very unhappy at how we had behaved, how we had portrayed ourselves. Anyway, that was the end of the trip. We came back to Anantapur and we had a real telling off. We were told off multiple times by various members of the faculty about how we had behaved. And the bottom line is that, never mind everything else, we had hurt Swami. That was the bottom line. So it was only natural for everybody around us who weren't part of that to be unhappy with us. Be it students or faculty or anybody, everybody was unhappy with us. Nobody wanted to have anything to do with us, and it was such a natural feeling. At that time we didn't see it. We couldn't see any reasoning because we always thought we were right. And this was end of February, we were going into March. End of March we leave the campus and go back home. So and our exams were about to start in a couple of weeks. We started writing letters to Swami saying, sorry Swami, please forgive us Swami. And we really wanted to go back to Prashanthi Nilayam to say sorry to him. But we were nearing our exams and there was not a chance that we would ever be allowed to go back to Prashanthi Nilayam to see Swami. And it was only another 5 or 6 days before the exams. But we still kept praying to Swami, kept writing letters to him because we wanted to say sorry to him. And one day, you won't believe, we just finished our prayers in the morning in the Institute auditorium. And our principal, Dr. Hemlata, she just walked up to the mic and she said that our class could go to Prashanthi Nilayam. And it wasn't all the classes. The outgoing students weren't allowed to go. Our class was allowed to go. We were only about 150 of us. She had already arranged the coaches. She says, tomorrow after college you can go to Prashanthi Nilayam for 1 day. And we were absolutely shocked because much as we wanted to go, we didn't have the courage to ask if we could go. And we were faced with 2 opportunities, that is 2 darshans with Swami, and we've got to tell him sorry. So we go to Prashanthi Nilayam. We sit for darshan in the morning, Sunday morning, and Swami came out and he walked by as if the Anantapur block did not exist. We were just not there for him. And he walked by. So that was it. We came back quiet. The whole dormitory, the afternoon was spent really quietly. We came back in the evening, and that was our last chance with Swami. He came out, He stood on the portico and he waved his hand. He signaled to us to go inside the mandir, and we rushed. We rushed inside the bhajan hall, and we didn't know what to do really. There was nobody in the bhajan hall when we went there, so we just crowded around the throne. Swami finished darshan and he came there. We didn't know what to expect from him. Previous to that, he used to very often call us into the mandir to talk to us. During all those occasions, he would go around himself and he would close all the doors and windows and then he would talk to us. But on that day, he didn't try to do anything like that. So all the doors and the windows were open. There were the brothers on one side, there was the ladies' side was full. And really that worried us even more because we thought Swami is going to tell us off and the whole of Prashanthi Nilayam will know about it. Because everything is open, we are in full view. And it really worried us so much and we just sat there quietly. And you won't believe what followed. He stood by his chair and he, very seriously for a few moments, and then he just smiled and he said, sing. We didn't have any instruments with us. I don't think there was any great singer in my batch. None of us had practiced any songs. And he said, come on, sing. And we didn't know what to sing. And he said, sing songs. What songs do we sing? You need to practice some songs. But anyway, we started singing songs like Tu Kitni Achhi Hai and, Pyar Kare Sab Sai Se, and one song after another. We would sing one song, we would stop, and he would say, sing. Then we would start the second song. and Swami would say, sing, and we would start the third song. And this went on for a while. And we reached a point when we had run out of any songs that we knew. And Swami stood there and he said, sing. But we were all quiet because we didn't know what to sing now. And at that point he said, do you know the song, Dil Diya Hai? You know, our outgoing students had sung the song for him a couple of weeks ago. So he said, do you know the song, Dil Diya Hai? And we started singing to him, you know, Mera karma thu, mera dharma thu, Dil diya hai, jaan bhi denge, aisa hi tere liye. As we started singing that song, he, you know, made his sign. He said, you know, to sit for Pad Namaskar. So we parted into rows. He started walking amongst us, giving us Pad Namaskar. And it was such a beautiful sight. Every time we came to the line, he was walking and we were falling all over his feet. Every time we came to the line, Dil diya hai, jaan bhi denge, Swami would just close his eyes and, you know, his head lifted upwards as if in a trance. Then he would walk again slowly. Again he would say Dil diya hai and Swami would close his eyes. And that was his response to that song. And when we finished singing that song, he said, now sing bhajans. So we started singing bhajans, no lead singer and chorus singer. We all sang together, whatever bhajan came to our mind. He went into the interview room and he came out with a tray full of pens and pencils and some picture calendars. And he came around once again. He'd finished giving Pad Namaskar, but he came around once again. So he was walking again amongst us, and we were in some kind of a frenzy, you know, when you're totally drunk already and you're offered even more drink, and you lose total control of yourself. So we even forgot we had taken Pad Namaskar already, but we are taking it again now. He is giving us pens and pencils in our hands, and we were so, I don't know what happened. We would take it from him and then we would hold it out to him to bless it again. We lost total control and we didn't know. But that was the amount of love. He was just giving himself to us. And like that, he went round again amongst us. We were there for about an hour. We were still singing bhajans, and he went back and he stood by his chair. So we stopped singing. And he said, sing. And, you know, our hearts were so full by then. And we had come with one intention, and we wanted to say sorry. So we sang the bhajan, Ek baar kshama karo sai, mere baba shi sati sari. And we were all crying at that point. And he just, absolutely just gave himself to us. And that is the beauty of this avatar. Like Brother Vijay said, he will go to any extent. We had made a mistake. He created the awareness in us that we were wrong, that we had to say sorry. Not only that, he even provided us with such a wonderful opportunity to say sorry. And that is the biggest lesson of forgiveness that he taught us. And a lesson that has stayed with me, because very often we are in situations in life where we have to forgive, but it's not just forgiving, because he showed us at that point that it's not just saying that I forgive somebody, but it's forgiving with 100% love. And that's what he did to us that day. He did not tell us off, did not tell us where we were wrong. There was no judging, but just loving. And that was an experience very close to my heart that I have not forgotten. You know, he said, he would say, I have come in this avatar to give you bliss. And bliss was what he made us experience that day. He is there, ever ready and ever waiting to give. But as we go on in our journey with him, the question is, how ready are we, or how willing are we to be with him? God is on our side, but are we on God's side? This was something that I that struck me when I joined Anandpur. I was never that keen on joining Anandpur. My mother forced me and I landed there. But when I reached Anandpur, the one thing that absolutely struck me was everybody had just this one thought: how do we make Swami happy? What is the next thing we can do to make him happy? What can we do for him? When the phone rings, it's the phone from Prashanthi Nilayam. It's Swami sending us a message. We've just returned from Prashanthi Nilayam. When do we go back next? What is the next item we can put up in front of him? What is the next thing we can make for him? What is the next song we can sing for him? And with that, I'll share another beautiful lesson he taught us one sports meet. It was 1992, my last year as a student. And I used to get very actively involved in any kind of art and craft work that we would do for Swami. So for sports meet that year, we were having a procession before the sports meet in the morning in front of Swami, and we used to call it floats. So as part of the floats, we were portraying Dwapara Yuga and Treta Yuga. So for Treta Yuga, we prepared a huge boat, and then we had girls dressed up as Lord Rama and Sita and Lakshmana. And likewise, we had a chariot with 4 horses and Lord Krishna and Arjuna. We spent almost a month working on that project of making those floats for Swami. And I'm talking from a time where we didn't have technology at this level that we have today. We did not have any of the resources, and every single thing we made for him from scratch. We barely had anything with us. We used to work till very late in the night, barely sleep, get up very early and work away. Anyway, we prepared this beautiful boat for him. At that time I thought it was really beautiful. Now when I look back, it doesn't really look much like a boat. But there you go. And the chariot was indeed beautiful. So we prepared all this. And we would reach Prashanthi Nilayam about a week before sports meet would start. And we would take all our things with us. And there would be shamianas, tents, put up at the very back end of Hillview Stadium, and we would work there, leading up to the sports meet day. And every year what would happen is, the few days leading up to sports meet, Swami would come in the evenings after darshan to the shamianas. He would come to see the practice, then he would come to the shamianas and he would talk to us, or he would ask what was happening. Now that year, he didn't come. We kept asking him to come, but he kept saying he's very busy, he's got loads of VIPs with him, a lot of guests that Swami has to look after. And he said, I can't come. And we kept wondering why. I mean, we had put in a lot of effort, and that's sort of a highlight of the year, because you know you get this one opportunity with him. The day of sports meet arrived, and you know, the whole thing happened in the morning, the procession, the floats went out, and Swami hadn't come to the shamianas to spend some time with us. And we were really, really sad about it, because now sports meet was over as well. It didn't seem like there was any opportunity left. In the evening after sports meet, when we assembled for darshan, Swami came out, and one of the first things he said was, I'm coming to the stadium, go. And all I remember was getting up and running from there, all the way from the mandir right up to Hillview Stadium, because we had left the shamianas in a total mess. We didn't expect that Swami was going to come back. So we ran all the way there and set up the boat again, set up the chariot again, and we were waiting for Swami. Now there was one problem. The chariot, in the morning when it went in front of Swami, it had 4 horses, not real horses. We had, 2 girls as one horse. So one girl stood straight and the other one bent behind. And then we put the costume on top, and that's how they walked. So we had 8 girls becoming those 4 horses in the morning. Now because it was leading up to Shankranti, girls who lived close by used to be allowed to go home, and therefore 2 of the girls had gone home. So Swami would arrive any minute and we were short of a horse. And my friend and myself, we were working on this. We had worked on the chariot for a very long time. So our principal, she came and said, become the horse. And there's no time to think. You just put the costume on and you get in and become the horse. So we were there waiting. And Swami came. Of course, I didn't see him because we were inside the costume. But I believe he came and he went up to the boat and clicked some pictures. And then he came near the chariot and I heard them ask him to climb the chariot. He climbed the chariot and he picked the reins up and he pulled, and then we walked with him for a short distance. And then he asked us to stop. And he got down from the chariot. And then he turned around and I heard him ask. In Telugu, he was asking, the other students around him. He says, "Ee gurralu nijamena?" Which means, are these horses real? Now, anybody would know those horses weren't real. We were wearing those huge horse heads on us and awful looking costumes, really. So you would know. But that is Swami. It's like that experience it's like a warning bell. He is there, He is ever ready and He is ever waiting for us. But are we ready for Him? How real are we for Him? Are we going to be His true messengers, His real messengers? At every point in time in our lives, are we going to be real? Are we going to carry His message wherever we go? And that's what He's waiting for. In one of the things that happened during the time I was there was the 1990 summer course, which Swami started after a huge gap again. And in one of the discourses, it sort of relates to birthday, because in one of those discourses he said, it is His love that is the center of everything, that is the crux of everything. And he said it is to experience His love that we try so hard, we yearn for Him, we want to be near Him, we want to go to Prashanti Nilayam, we want to have His darshan. And to experience Him, we then take so many different sadhanas, try to get closer to Him. And it is to help us in our sadhana that He has taken birth. And that makes me think we are so fortunate. Not for Himself, but for us, to help us get closer to Him. He went through this whole process of 85 years of human birth. That 1990 summer course. Okay, I'll quickly wind up. I just share a couple of things that happened in the 1990 summer course. We'd arrived at the summer course. Some of us had arrived a couple of days before we were scheduled to arrive. And we were only a few of us, and he asked us to come inside the Kalyana Mandapam, where he came there, we sat around him, and he came and gave us our badges to wear for the summer course to each one of us, told us it had to be pinned to the sari, explained what the discipline was got to be like, how we had to maintain our discipline in every place, how we had to listen to the lectures. You need to copy your notes because you then have an exam to give at the end of the summer course. There was this kind of personal attention that he gave at every single point. And I'll just quickly narrate one short story that was really moving during that time. One of the things we really waited for during summer course was Swami coming to eat with us. So breakfast we used to just have and then go for the lectures. But lunch and dinner, both, Swami would come to the Kalyana Mandapam. We would wait there for him. He would come and then we would chant Brahmarpanam. And mind you, we used to drag the Brahmarpanam as much as we could, just because Swami would stand those few moments longer in front of us. The minute it's over, he's going to go. So the first couple of days he complained. He said, "Why are you dragging it? Come on, quick, quick." But we just continued being that way. Then Swami wouldn't complain after that. So he would chant Brahmarpanam. He would then walk amongst us, check the food. He would check that every item was served correctly in the right place. Nothing was going on top of anything. Sometimes he would taste the food as well. He would then go to the brothers' hostel where they would do the Brahmarpanam. On the way back, he would come back again to us. Now on one of the days, the girl sitting next to me was my classmate. She had written a letter for Swami that she wanted to give it to him. She didn't get the opportunity in the morning to give it to him. We were eating. We used to eat with our hands. And Swami was coming back. He was walking by our aisle, and she remembered she had a letter that she wanted to give him. So she kneeled down. Now where was this letter? Inside the Samako's badge that was pinned to her sari. It was on the back of the badge, and she was already eating. She couldn't use her right hand to hold the badge to get the letter out, or she didn't want to take the letter out and then give it to Swami with her left hand. So she started crying. And she kneeled down, tears flowing down, and she wants to give Swami this letter. Swami saw, and he smiled, and he said, "Slowly, slowly." And Swami just stood there. I don't know how long it took, because she then held the Samako's badge in between her hands, and slowly, 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 she coaxed that letter out of the badge, and Swami waited till that happened. And she just held it like that, in between her wrists, and gave it to him. And that's what I mean. He's always waiting. There's not a moment when he's not waiting. We've got to hurry. He's given us this opportunity, the most wonderful Satya Sai organization. His mission is there for us. He has said, "You come, you do my work, I will embrace you." And that our eyes will reflect him within us. There's not a moment to waste. Swami said, he says, if he's not like a cameraman who's going to tell you, "Cheese, be ready, click the photograph." There's not a moment left for us. We've got to be ready for that picture-perfect photograph with Swami at all times. Jai Sai Ram.
Experiences, yeah?
Yes.
I think the joy and love that you get from hearing about experiences of Swami students with Swami himself, there's nothing quite like that feeling that you get when you hear those stories. Thank you so much for sharing them with us. Now I'd like you all to welcome the children of Halifax Science Centre, who are going to sing us some sweet songs. And is it regional? Oh, it's the region, sorry, my mistake. It's the regional children. So it's all the Science Centre children of our region. You're going to hear their sweet singing and some poems. So please again put your hands together and warmly welcome.
Children, I'm not an SSC child. I'm sorry to be here. But the children wanted me to sing with them. So you'll have to bear with me. But I'm not the SSC child.
I'm just going to read a short poem that I wrote on Swami's birthday. Swami's 87th birthday is here. Time for us to sing bhajans and do prayer. The 23rd of November is an auspicious day, as on this day the Lord incarnate had come to stay. Swami was born to Ishwarama, the chosen mother of Sai Rama. Born to share love and guide us on our way, from the path he would not let us sway. Throughout his life, service was his main aim, saying service to man and service to God is the same. Loving all, serving all, helping ever, hurting never, making our heart pump love forever. Now that he has made his physical exit, for his sight we are even more desperate. We can still feel his presence every day, even more today on his birthday. Jai Sai Ram.
And I think it's also important that as well as the children go up and perform on stage, for their gurus to stand up there and do so with them. It's, you know, as gurus, I'm a guru myself, so what we preach to the children, we should also practice. So I think it's good. It's lovely that you were up there with them. Well, what a brilliant first half. We've had singing, dancing, poems, speeches, and there's still more to come. So we're going to take a short 10-minute break. We have put together for your entertainment a 10-minute photo slideshow of all the regional events that have taken place this past year. So why don't you sit back, enjoy, and see if you can see yourself in any of these pictures. One day, a young woman went to her mother and told her how hard her life was, what a struggle she was going through, and frankly, she just wanted to give up. She'd had enough. Her mother simply took her hand and took her to the kitchen. She filled 3 pots of water and placed each on a high fire. Soon the pots came to boil. In the first, she placed carrots. In the second, she placed eggs. And in the third, she placed ground coffee beans. She let them sit and boil without saying a word. In about 20 minutes, she turned off the gas burners and she fished out the carrots and placed them in a bowl. She did the same with the egg, and she put a little bit of coffee into a third bowl. Turning to her daughter, she asked, "Tell me, what can you see?" "Carrots, eggs and coffee," she replied. Her mother brought her closer and asked her to feel the carrots. She did, and she noted they were soft. The mother then asked the daughter to take the egg and break it. After pulling off the shell, she observed the eggs were a bit tough, a bit harder. Finally, the mother asked the daughter to sip the coffee, and the daughter smiled and tasted its rich aroma. The daughter then asked, "Well, what does this all mean, mother?" And her mother carefully explained. Each of these objects faced the same adversity, the boiling water. They were each forced into this situation, into the pots of boiling water. The carrot went in strong, hard and unrelenting. However, when it was in the water, it came out soft and weak. The egg, which had been fragile, went in the water with a liquid interior. But after sitting through the boiling water, the inside became very hardened. And the ground coffee beans, they were unique. After they were in the boiling water, they changed the water. "So which are you?" she asked her daughter. "When adversity knocks at your door, how do you respond? Are you a carrot? Are you an egg? Or are you a coffee bean?" Why don't you all think of this? How do you react to adversity? Do you become softened and weak? Do you become so tough inside that maybe that's not good? Or do you change the circumstances around you and you result in a nice, yummy cup of coffee? Well done. Okay, so we're going to carry on with our program now. As a child, I remember taking part in lots of plays, whether it was Swami's birthday or Ishwarapa Day. I look back at those memories very fondly, and I feel very honoured and very privileged to have been a part of those plays. So today, the SSE children of Manchester Science Centre have put together a play for you. They've worked very hard, and I'm sure you'll be able to see from all the wonderful costumes that you're about to get a treat and see. It takes time and dedication to create a production such as this. So, I wonder if they are ready?
They'll be ready in 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Would you like another story?
Yes.
Yay, why not?
Sing a song, sing a song.
Oh, I don't know about singing. Okay, this story is called The Puppy. So once there was a store owner, and he had a litter of puppies, and he put them up for sale. And this little boy came running, as children do, and see the sign for the puppy for sale. Oh, can I see the puppies? So the store owner brings out all the puppies, and they all come running out following their mother. At the back of this group of puppies was one little puppy. He was limping, and he was falling behind. And the little boy said, "What's wrong with that puppy?" And the store owner said, "Oh, he was born like that. He has a limp, and he will always have a limp. He will never be well." And the little boy said, "I want that one." So the store owner said, "You don't want that one. Have one of the other puppies. They're only £30 each. If you want that one, give him to you for free." So the little boy said, "No, I want that one, and I will pay full price for that one. I will give you the £2 that I have in my pocket now, and I will give you 50p every week that I get from my pocket money until I have paid for the puppy." So the store owner thought, "Why do you want this puppy? He's not going to be able to run around with you. He's not going to be able to play games." And at that point, the little boy lifted his leg up, and he too had an affliction, and he wasn't able to walk properly. And he said, "Well, then this puppy will need someone who understands him, like I do. And he is worth every penny as those other puppies are." So I think hopefully we are ready now. Yes? So if I can ask you all to put your hands together and welcome the Manchester Science Centre. I sat too close to the speaker.
uncles and aunties, Jai Sairam. The SSC children of Greater Manchester, Halifax and Warrington Science Centres are now going to present a short and meaningful drama based on the power of knowledge and the human mind. Swami says, true word is Brahma, pure mind is Vishnu and pure heart is Ishvara. Recognize this truth and maintain the purity of your heart. Rooted in this faith, man should make proper use of these God-given facilities. Good results would inevitably follow, and in the end, you are certain to merge with the Lord. Pure speech, pure mind, and pure heart are the manifestations of selfless love. We shall now travel back in time to an ancient age where ordinary humans and demons coexisted on earth, in a time when God interacted directly with earthly beings and conferred boons in light of supreme penance. Long, long ago, there lived an Asura, a demon by the name of Rambha. He was a descendant of the demon king Dhanu. Rambha performed great penance in a ball of fire to please the gods. From fear of repeating the destruction that his father Dhanu had brought upon the three worlds, Lord Indra attempted to kill him, but failed as Rambha was protected by Agnidev in the fire. Later in Rambha's life, he fell in love with Shyamala, who had the cursed form of a buffalo. Through an altercation with another demon over Shyamala, Rambha was killed in combat. However, his legacy continued. Shyamala carried his son. This child was known as the demon king Mahishasur. In his early years, Mahishasur, like his father, longed to attain power and weaponry, and so he began to perform intense penance to Lord Brahma. Chanting the holy mantra, Om Brahmane Namaha, he neither drank or ate a morsel of food throughout the years. Meanwhile, the devas of the heavens watched in fright of his penance and feared what would become of this demon. Let's now flow into the story and see how Swami's divine teachings on the true word, pure mind and pure heart unfolded in the life of Mahishasur, the demon king.
Son, you've performed penance for many years, and I am very pleased with your efforts. Tell me, what is the boon you desire?
Lord, you are the creator of all things in this universe, the father of all beings and creatures. Please grant me the boon of immortality, O gracious one.
Mahishasura, you know I cannot grant you that. All life must have a start and end. Nothing is forever.
Lord, if not immortality, then please grant me the boon such that no man or God will ever be the cause of my death.
So be it, Tathastu.
Thank you, Lord. Father Rambha, look upon me with pride. Look at what I have attained. Nothing can touch me now.
Now, with such a boon in his hands, Mahishasur was overcome with egoism and ignorance. He sought destruction using his powers and began a campaign of terror against earthly beings and the heavens. Swami often said, knowledge and power should be utilized for the good of mankind, to help the less fortunate and prosper character to beyond the limitations of the human mind. However, despite such power to perform rigorous penance, Mahishasur was inviting his own doom. After years of terrorizing earthly beings, Mahishasura waged war on the demigods of the heavens.
Together we shall fight against your treachery.
A fierce war broke out, but with such awesome power, the demigods were powerless.
Bahima, Pranam Lord Vishnu, protector of all. Please help and save us from the tyranny of the demon Mahishasura.
Hey Indra, we know why you have come here.
Lord, the demon has attacked us and we are powerless against his might. Please tell us how it can be destroyed.
You must ask Lord Brahma, as he's the one who granted the boon.
I will do as you command, Lord. Pranam Brahma Pita.
Yushman Baba.
Lord, the demon Mahishasura has attacked us and we are unable to defend the heavens. Please tell us what we could do.
With the boon granted to Mahishasura, I cannot retract his power. You must seek the advice of Mahadeva to be all your answer, Indra.
Jo Agya Brahma Pita. Hey Mahadev, you are the last one that can help us in this calamity. Lord, please help us defeat the demon that has killed many lives on earth and heaven.
Indra, we have all fought against him, but we are powerless also.
There must be a way he can be destroyed.
There is one way. The wicked demon in his egoism thought that he was above womankind, so this will be his ultimate destruction. Go to the other demigods and unite your weaponry and powers. I shall do the necessary with Lord Vishnu and Brahma. Go.
Jo Agya Mahadev.
This was the turning point in the plot to destroy Mahishasura. The Holy Trinity gathered in conclave and made a powerful and divine decision on the use of their powers. The world would see nothing like it, and the demon race was to tremble in fear. Behold what happened next.
The destruction of this Asura lies in the glory of womanhood. We must combine our powers and weaponry and awaken the mighty and omnipotent energy that is the Adi Shakti dormant in Devi Parvati. She will provide the power to destroy the evil demon and his army.
The Trinity and demigods created a tremendous power full of divine energy and directed it to Mata Parvati. Moments later, the mountains shook apart. A fierce, young and beautiful lady emerged, perched on a lion that struck fear in one and all.
Tell me,
righteous path. You have been endowed with all the weaponry and powers of the godly realm. Your vehicle, the lion, will guide you to the army.
I shall slay the entire demon army and bring to justice the one who has left the path of Dharma and terrorized mankind.
A ferocious battle erupted between Mata and the demons. Mataji fought furiously for 8 whole days, reducing Mahishasura's army to ashes and depleting all the demons' powers granted by the gods. Mahishasura wanted to acquire Mataji as his wife, having been dazzled by her beauty. However, Mataji laughed at him, mocking his trivial attempts at love, and sought his destruction. Instantly ended Mahishasura's life. I refer back to Swami's sayings in the beginning: true word Brahma, pure mind Vishnu, and pure heart Shiva. Ma was the culmination of this divinity in spectacular form. Although Mahishasura was a good and gifted individual who'd won the invocation of Lord Brahma in the beginning, it was in the end that the trinity of these aspects ended his life. The monkey mind, as Baba describes, must be controlled firmly like Hanuman. This can be accomplished by the divine light of knowledge, which builds good character and can lead to the humble services to mankind without the need of favourable returns. Mine, pure love, had provided 8 whole days for Mahishasura to change his ways and leave the path of his destruction. Rama, the idol of Dharma, also gave many opportunities like this to Ravan and Krishna to Gans. Blinded was Mahishasura with what Baba often described as Kama, lust, Krodha, anger, and Lobha, greed. The supreme divine light of knowledge and truth in the form of Durga Ma then vanquished these supernatural demons and paved the way of Dharma. In celebration of Ma's physical victory over the demon, we perform a traditional Garba dance around Mataji as an offering of devotion and respect. The divine aspect of truth will always prevail over evil in thought, word and deed. Please sit back and enjoy this final offering. Bol Shri Durga Mata ki Jai!
day.
Once more. Can I get another round of applause? I don't know about you, but that also scared me. Now can you imagine if our vices actually had an appearance? Things like jealousy and ego and arrogance, if they were actually personified into something that looked like that, what ugly people we would all be. I'm so glad there's no one here that looks like that. Okay, so moving on then. Now, those of you who went to the multi-faith event will know that we have a poet amongst us. Our dear brother Sanjay has kindly agreed to write a poem for today, that is Swami's birthday. So please, everybody, warmly put your hands together and welcome Sanjay. Sorry.
Sayam, everyone.
Sayam.
Well, let me turn around a bit. That's better. Jay's asked me a couple of weeks ago, said, "Oh, it'd be good if you could try and put something together for Swami's birthday, a poem, because you seem to have got a habit of doing that these days." So I sat down and I thought, what can I do? And I had some ideas, and then I ended up writing something that's turned into a conversation between me and Swami, or between anyone and Swami. So that's what I'll read out, and then I'll read it out twice. First time I'll just read it, the second time I've got some pictures that help explain it a little bit more as well. I haven't managed to be as good as the Values Club children where they memorise theirs. I still have to write mine down. I've got a lot to learn. I'll just press something. Yeah. Okay, so it starts off with me just talking to Swami, really. Happy birthday, dear Swami. Happy birthday to you. Do you like today's programme with items quite a few? From us here in Region 5, what gifts would you like? Please tell us, dear Swami, would you really love a bike? So then Swami replies, "Listen, dear child, I'm not interested in things. I can manifest what I like, such as vibhuti and rings. Your strange line of thought makes me despair. I sometimes do wonder what you've got stored up there. If you want to do something, I really like to cook, and I love to read letters, or perhaps a good book. Gadgets I'm not keen on, but I guess they're okay. But Ferrero Rocher, I'd settle for those any day. I love listening to music when I'm sitting on my own. When we talk through prayer, it's like we're chatting on the phone. The world's in my hands, you should know that by now. You can't understand it, you mostly just go, wow. If I am the master, then as my apprentice you are hired. I'm watching how you're doing, but don't worry about being fired. Your journey is about learning, but the knowledge lies inside. Faith, trust and surrender helps you through life to glide. It starts in your heart, the home of divine light. When you listen to me there, your soul it shines bright. Everything is perfect, all part of the plan. Remember you're divine and not just a man. With your heart soft as butter, not hard, not like tin, let go and let God guide you from within. Carry on with your program, I'm having a great time. Don't forget what I said, let your light always shine. For I am in you and you are in me. I'm everywhere always, have a look, try to see. So then I kind of replied back to Swami as well. Thank you, dear Swami, for making us smile. With your beautiful words, you're with us all the while. You're strict and yet funny, soft and so sweet. Our lives are so blessed as we sit at your feet. Your message is quite clear. We should feel you inside, not listening to our mind as this truth it tries to hide. Let our light shine more brightly. From today let us start to build within us Prashanti Nilayam in our hearts.
Oh, wow.
I thought I'd be a little bit creative, so I'll read it again, this time with some pictures to hopefully help me along. So I start off. Happy birthday, dear Swami, happy birthday to you. Do you like today's programme with items, quite a few? From us here in Region 5, what gifts would you like? Please tell us, dear Swami, would you really love a bike? Then Swami replies, listen, dear child, I'm not interested in things. I can manifest what I like, such as vibhuti and rings. Your strange line of thought makes me despair. I sometimes do wonder what you've got stored up there. If you want to get something, I really like to cook. And I love to read letters, or perhaps a good book. Gadgets I'm not keen on, but I guess they're okay. But Ferrero Rocher, I'd settle for those any day. I love listening to music when I'm sitting on my own. When we talk through prayer, it's like we're chatting on the phone. The world's in my hands, you should know that by now. You can't understand it, you mostly just go wow. If I am the master, then as my apprentice you are hired. I'm watching how you're doing, but don't worry about being fired. Your journey's about learning, but the knowledge lies inside. Faith, trust and surrender help you through life to glide. It starts in your heart, the home of divine light. When you listen to me there, your soul, it shines bright. Everything is perfect, all part of the plan. Remember you're divine and not just a man. With your heart soft as butter, not hard, not like tin, let go and let God guide you from within. Carry on with your program, I'm having a great time. Don't forget what I said, let your light always shine. For I am in you and you are in me. I'm everywhere always, have a look, try to see. Thank you, dear Swami, for making us smile. With your beautiful words, you're with us all the while. You're strict and yet funny, soft and so sweet. Our lives are so blessed as we sit at your feet. Your message is quite clear, we should feel you inside, not listen to our mind as this truth it tries to hide. Let our light shine more brightly, from today let us start to build within us Prashanti Nilayam in our hearts.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much for that, Sanjay. That was lovely. I think you'll all agree.
Yes, we do.
That together with the pictures. Fantastic. Absolutely. So, whilst we wait for our next performers to prepare themselves, I've prepared a little game for you all.
Oh, okay.
Don't look at the slideshow. Everybody remembers Countdown, do they not?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So that's what we're going to play now. Okay? So you'll find a scrambled up word written on the projector there. And you all have 30 seconds to unscramble the word and tell me what the answer is. Okay?
Yes.
So ready?
Divine.
Oh, wait. Okay, well, that was just too easy. Okay, shall we move on to the next one because everybody got that one? Okay. This is far too easy. Right, the next one then. Right, wait for the clock to start. Go.
Omnipresent.
Okay. Oh, I've got another story. Okay.
Prashant and the Lamb.
I can hear somebody with the right answer. Spirituality.
Prashanti.
Well, this was supposed to take a lot longer than it was taking. Ooh, you're right answer yet. Ooh.
Christmas.
Ah, yes, I think we had the right answer. Christmas, because it's coming soon. Yeah, that was the last one.
Yeah, tell the story.
I can tell you a story.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, let's go for another story. Okay. Okay, so this one's called The Flower. Park bench was deserted, and as I sat down to read beneath the long straggly branches of an old willow tree, delusioned by life, with good reason to frown, for the world was intent on dragging me down. And if that wasn't enough to ruin my day, a young boy, out of breath, approached me, all tired from play. He stood right before me, with his head tilted down, and said with great excitement, "Look what I found!" In his hand was a flower, and what a pitiful sight, with all its petals all worn, not enough rain and too little light. Wanting him to take his dead flower and go off to play, I faked a small smile and then shifted away. But instead of retreating, he sat right next to me and placed the flower to his nose and declared with overacted surprise, "It sure smells pretty, and it's beautiful too. That's why I picked it. Here, it's for you." The weed before me was dying, maybe dead. Not vibrant of colours, orange, yellow or red. But I knew I must take it, or he might never leave. So I reached for the flower and replied, "Just what I need." But instead of him placing the flower in my hand, he held it mid-air, without reason or plan. It was then that I noticed, for the very first time, that the weed-toting boy could not see. He was blind. I heard my voice quiver, tears shone like the sun, as I thanked him for picking the very best one. "You're welcome," he smiled, and then ran off to play, unaware of the impact he'd had on me, on my day. I sat there and wondered how he managed to see a self-pitying woman beneath an old willow tree. Excuse me, sorry. How did he know of my self-indulgent plight? Perhaps from his heart he'd been blessed with true sight. Through the eyes of a blind child, at least I could see the problem was not the world, the problem was me. And for all those times I had myself been blind, I vowed to see the beauty in life and appreciate every second that's mine. I then held that wilted flower up to my nose and breathed in the fragrance of a beautiful rose, and smiled as I watched that young boy, another weed in his hand, about to change another person's life. important to know that things that you might do or things that you might not do can have such an impact on somebody else's life without you even knowing it. Okay, so every act that you do, every step that you take, always remember that how is this going to affect someone else? Unknowingly, you may change someone's life. Okay, so 1 more minute, I'm told.
One more story.
One more story. Oh, oh dear. Right. I feel like a teacher. Okay. So the story I'm about to tell you is called The Cracked Pot. A water bearer in India had 2 large pots that hung at each end of a pole. He carried this pole across his neck every day. One of the pots had a crack in it, while the other pot was perfect and always delivered a full portion of water at the end of a long walk from the stream. No. Whereas the other cracked pot never managed to bring home a full pot of water. This pot was always half because it was leaking. For a full 2 years, this went on daily, with the perfect pot delivering a perfectly full pot of water, and the cracked pot only delivering half a pot full of water. After 2 years, the pot felt like a failure. The cracked pot was so ashamed of himself, and he spoke to the pot bearer, the person bringing the water, and he said, "I'm ashamed of myself, and I want to apologise to you." "Why?" asked the bearer. "What are you ashamed of?" And he said, "For the past 2 years, I've been making you carry such a heavy load only to deliver half a pot of water for all your troubles. I'm not perfect. You don't get full value of your efforts." The water bearer felt sorry for the old cracked pot, and in his compassion, he said, "As we return to the master's home today, have a look at all the flowers on the way." Indeed, as they went up the hill, the cracked pot saw all beautiful wild flowers, all different colours, different heights, different fragrances, so beautiful. But at the end of the trail, he still felt sad, because he still only had half a pot of water. And again he apologised to the pot bearer for his failure. The bearer said to the pot, "Did you notice that the flowers were only on your side, not on the side of the perfect pot?" The cracked pot got confused. "Yes, I did." And the pot bearer said, "That's because I have always known about your flaw, and I took advantage of it. I planted flower seeds just on your side, and every day while we walked back, you watered those seeds for me. And for 2 years, I've been able to pick those flowers and decorate our master's table. If it was not for this, our master's home would not have been so beautifully decorated." And from this we can learn, each of us have been made by our beloved Swami. What we might perceive as faults or imperfections, where we can, yes, we try and improve. But where we can't, we should always remember that Swami made us perfect the way we are. So now, right, I would like to now introduce our final performance of the afternoon. And believe me when I say it's a real treat for you all. The youth of Region 5 have come together, and it's as if they have poured all their musical talent into a cup which you are all about to take a sip from. So please sit back, close your eyes, and enjoy the musical masterpiece on the whole.
very proud of them. I remember doing the practicing. Each time I heard them practice, I go home feeling like I want to pick up an instrument and I want to learn it. And I don't know about you all today, but I know I'm going to go home with the same feeling again. Whether I actually get around to doing it is another matter. Okay, so this brings the afternoon performances to a close. I hope you have all enjoyed yourselves and go away feeling uplifted. I'm going to hand you over to my uncle in just a moment, who will deliver the vote of thanks. After this, we're going to go straight into bhajans and then arati, and then we will cut the cake. If I can ask all the SSC children, or any children that are here, to come forward, and I can get them up to sit on stage with the cake. Okay, so without further ado, I can ask my uncle to come forward.
Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram.
That's better. What a lovely day we have had. Even the sun has come out after this cold and inclement weather here all day. 11 o'clock sharp, the sun came out. Bless us. So Swami's grace is here on every one of you. I have been just given 5 minutes to say a vote of thanks. I'll try. So it's a joyful job summarizing at the end of a lovely day. I would say that please sit on your hands when I go through the list, because I would like to finish it in 5 minutes. And when I finish, we can bring the roof down. To start off with, a big thanks to the Sai children for the uplifting Bakrakundada dance and the opening prayers. It was lovely. They always set the right tone. And then we had the welcome speech by our regional coordinator Kailash and Jayesh joining in for setting the right spiritual tone for the day. And we had this bright and bubbly Aditi coming in and making us really feel good with those lovely fillers. And I know where she got all that from, that she got it from her dad, who is equally bubbly and so infectious with his quips. Then we had the Good Values Club. I thought it was the Variety Club which turned up here. They were so wonderful. It's like I saw the van outside, it looked like the Variety Club fan. And they were marvelous children. They are singing, dancing, and those stories and poems are wonderful. And then we are very fortunate to have Bharati Ben's speech. What a wonderful speech. Swami gets people who he wants them to be there and gives them all what they need, and they come out and share their experiences with us. When our faith wavers sometimes because of the vicissitudes of life, it is wonderful to hear some marvelous experiences of people like Bharati Ben to uplift us and to feel that things can get better. We must also thank her husband for coming along and making the day here. Then we had the Halifax song and poem program. It was really wonderful, the dance, and the poem was particularly wonderful. The boy was Prahalad. That was a lovely poem he wrote. Thanks for that. That was wonderful. Then we had this wonderful play by the Manchester, Halifax and the Warrington children. It was out of this world. The costumes were fantastic. The performance was lively. And I was actually terrified of the demon. and the knife he had, it was so sharp and powerful. I was worried about what might happen to the goddess herself. I hope it was a model and not but it was so frightening. But a big thanks to those wonderful children for doing that brilliant performance. Then we had our resident poet laureate, Sanjay. We are really blessed to have him. He writes some wonderful poetry. I've heard it dozens of times, but this time it was very special. The poem was wonderful, but the slides which came up, for the first time I realized that Swami had a little partiality towards Ferrero Rocher. And that was wonderful. I don't know where he managed to get that shot from. And then, of course, as I said, Aditi was wonderful. She's bright and bubbly. And Jayesh is really fortunate to have him as his wife. Because she really stole the show. Thanks, Aditi. And the youth here, they are brilliant. I have seen them time and time again. But today's performance was different. It was musical, and to see they have so much of talent. And I think Vinesh is the coordinator, because I saw his hand go up and down to control the different people. It was a brilliant performance, and our special thanks to them. And there are few people whom we must thank, the Bolton ladies and so many others for preparing the food today. And lots of backroom boys who have organized things. The man with the camera, the man with the slides, man with all sorts of people who have done so much to make this day a wonderful one. I don't know whether I have missed anyone. And whatever you have seen or learned today, try to put them into practice. Take at least one little dose from Aditi and have it every morning, and your days will be wonderful. So I think we must have talk about the silver dolls and the helpers. And of course, you are a marvelous audience. You applauded, came up with some wisecracks in the middle. So it was wonderful. You got the best out of the people who performed here. And of course, thanks to Swami, we felt the presence here. It was marvelous. He enriches our life every breath of the way. Now we'll thank everyone. Shall we bring this roof down now? Sit back and enjoy the rest of the day. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. गजाननाथ दया वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा वरद गणेशा दुरित विनाशा दानव भंजन राम साई श्यामल कोमल राम दानव भंजन राम साई श्यामल कोमल राम दानव भंजन राम साई श्यामल कोमल राम दानव भंजन राम साई श्यामल
Remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
I am home, eternal home.
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 Through this life of distraction and of delusion, remind me, my Lord, who I am. Through this life of distraction and of delusion, remind me, my Lord, who I am. I am food, I am peace, divine bliss.
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 Ananda Swarupa, Prema Swarupa, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Ananda Swarupa, Prema Swarupa, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Ananda Swarupa, Prema Swarupa, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Ananda Swarupa, Prema Swarupa, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
I am love, your love.
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 Remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
Remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, remind me, my Lord, who I am.
I am home, eternal home.
I am home, eternal home.
Through this life of distraction and of delusion, remind me, my Lord, who I am. I am true, I am peace,
पार्वती पतये हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर पार्वती पतये हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 शंकर महादेवा हर हर शंकर महादेवा हर हर शंकर महादेवा हर हर शंकर महादेवा हर हर 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 महादेवा शिव 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 सदा शिवा 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 महादेवा सदा शिवा महादेवा सदा शिवा सदा शिवा महादेवा सदा शिवा महादेवा नमः पार्वती पतये हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 शंकर महादेवा हर हर शंकर महादेवा हर हर महादेवा हर हर महादेवा हर 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 महादेवा हर 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 महादेवा शिव 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 सदा शिवा शिव 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 सदा शिवा महादेवा सदा शिवा महादेवा सदा शिवा सदा शिवा महादेवा सदा शिवा महादेवा ओम हर 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 महादेवा हर 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 महादेवा हर 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 महादेवा हर हर महादेवा हर 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 महादेवा हर 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 महादेवा ओम हर 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 महादेवा हर 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 महादेवा हर 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 महादेवा हर 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 महादेवा हर 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 महादेवा हर 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 महादेवा शिव 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 सदा शिवा शिव 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 सदा शिवा महादेवा सदा शिवा महादेवा सदा शिवा सदा शिवा महादेवा सदा शिवा महादेवा नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 शंकर महादेवा
भजो भजो विठ्ठला पांडुरंग विठ्ठला
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 पंढरीनाथ पांडुरंग भज मन विठ्ठला
पंढरीनाथ पांडुरंग भजो मन विठ्ठला
पंढरीनाथ पांडुरंग भज मन विठ्ठला
पंढरीनाथ पांडुरंग भजो मन विठ्ठला
भजो भजो विठ्ठला पांडुरंग विठ्ठला
भजो भजो विठ्ठला पांडुरंग विठ्ठला
Ishvara Sai Natha Vithala Ishvara Sai Natha Vithala Ishvara Sai Natha Vithala Ishvara Sai Natha Vithala Parameshwara Satya Sai Vithala Parameshwara Satya Sai Vithala Parameshwara Satya Sai Vithala Parameshwara Satya Sai Vithala Shubhai Vithala Ranga 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 Sai Vithala Bhajo Bhajo Vithala Panduranga Vithala Bhajo Bhajo Vithala Panduranga Vithala Mandrinath Panduranga Bhajamana Vithala Bhajo Bhajo Vithala Panduranga Vithala Ishvara Sai Natha Vithala Ishvara Sai Natha Vithala Parameshwara Satya Sai Vithala Parameshwara Satya Sai Vithala Satya Sai Vithala Parameshwara Satya Sai Vithala Kumai Vithala Ranga 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 Sai Vithala Bhajo Bhajo Vithala Panduranga Vithala
जननी मां साई जननी जननी
Shivaya Shivaya Namo. Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namo.
Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namo. Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namo.
Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namo. Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namo.
Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namo. Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namo.
Shiva Shiva Hara Hara Haraya Namo. Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Shivaya Namo.
Shiva Shiva Hara Hara Haraya Namo. Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Shivaya Namo.
Shiva Shiva Hara Hara Haraya Namo. Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Shivaya Namo.
Shiva Shiva Hara Hara Haraya Namo. Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Shivaya Namo.
Hara Hara Mahadeva. Hara Hara Mahadeva.
Hara Hara Mahadeva. Hara Hara Mahadeva.
Hara Hara Mahadeva. Hara Hara Mahadeva. Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namo. Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namo.
Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namo. Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namo.
Dama 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 Rumane.
Dama 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 Rumane.
Dhimi Taka Mridanga Vade.
Dhimi Taka Mridanga Vade.
Dama 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 Rumane.
Dama 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 Rumane.
Dhimi Taka Mridanga Vade.
Dhimi Taka Mridanga Vade.
Hara Hara Mahadeva. Hara Hara Mahadeva.
Hara Hara Mahadeva. Hara Hara Mahadeva.
Hara Hara Mahadeva. Hara Hara Mahadeva. Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namo. Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya Namo. Shiva Shiva Hara Hara Haraya Namo. Hara Hara Shiva Shiva Shivaya Namo. Hara Hara Mahadeva.
Oh
So we'll now conclude the program with a birthday song to Swami.
संगत को बाबा साईं भजन को गान करेंगे। Happy birthday to you, Sai Baba. 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 Happy birthday to you, Shivi Baba. Happy birthday to you, Birthday Baba. Happy birthday to you, Shivi Baba. Happy birthday to you, Birthday Baba. Happy birthday to you, Prema Baba. Happy birthday to you, Sai Baba. Happy birthday to you, Prema Baba. Happy birthday to you, Sai Baba. तेरी जन्मदिन में साई तुझे कोटि प्रणाम करेंगे, तुझे कोटि प्रणाम करेंगे, तुझे कोटि प्रणाम करेंगे।
Sairam, everybody. That concludes our programme. My sincere apologies for running over, but I'm sure you all enjoyed it anyway. We're now going to have Mahaprasadam, which will be served in the adjoining hall. You can either take a seat there or bring your plates back through to here. So we'll just end with Om Brahma Pranam. Om Brahma
Prani
So if you'd like to start filing your way out from the back, there are going to be a ladies and a gents queue. So if you just slowly take your time and everyone get your food. Sarah.